What's happening in Israel? Could this be the beginning of a biblical war?
Well, Jim, you think about it, we were here 8 weeks ago, and it's amazing
Wow.
what has taken place in the last couple weeks since our last visit. I mean, things are moving at a very rapid pace. The world is once again focused on this tiny little country called Israel. We have leaders from all over the world calling on Israel to be careful. Yes, you have the rights to respond to that rocket fire, but be careful. We're hopeful for peace one day. And I never, ever get tired of being or totally enamored and in disbelief of just how amazing this tiny little country of Israel captures the world's interest. It's so remarkable. But then again, that's the way God intended it to be in the final days, as we know that Jerusalem and the state of Israel is God's time clock.
You have two immovable forces, Iran and Israel, that both of them say, we will not give up our homeland. We're not going to lay down and die for the other. And Iran, I think, is proven that it's just simply determined to destroy Israel.
Absolutely. Israel just wants to live in peace and security. I was talking to people in our recent trip to Israel that, here's a tiny little productive country that just wants to be left to be productive, whether it's in science, medicine, technologies, agriculture. It's remarkable what's coming out of Israel in terms of benefits to not only Israel, the United States, and the world. And Israel's been forced in this peace process for over 30 plus years, the recent version of the peace process for 20 years. And the neighborhood has got more dangerous. We've had wars with Iraq and Afghanistan. Iran has been developing themselves into a major military foe that's determined to eliminate the little Satan, which is Israel, and also give the United States, the great Satan, a devastating blow, whether it's in the Middle East or here. So the neighborhood is getting much more dangerous. We've seen things happen on Israel's southern border with Hezbollah.
Yes.
That has a lot of influence in Lebanon, that also has kept Assad. I mean, Hezbollah coming to Assad's behalf kept Bashar Assad in office. And now you have ISIS, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, that's broken loose, that's taken up a majority of the land of Iraq. And then you have Iran, the United States, and Russia that are all in Iraq right now, attempting to be the policemen or the negotiators. And we are living in a very disruptive period of time in Israel and in the Middle East.
Do you think the United States is going to do something about Iraq?
It's an enormous problem. First of all, the Pentagon suggested Obama keep at least 10,000 troops when he left Iraq at the end of 2011. I mean, they really said that in order to make this transition, and in order to protect our people there in Iraq, we need 10,000 people. Obama said, how about 2,500? And they said, no, that's not enough. We need 10,000 people inside Iraq to kind of maintain order. And former U.S. Ambassador to Iraq, Ryan Crocker, said recently, the mistake that we made is Iraq can't operate without the United States' involvement. Mm-hmm. In other words, he said...
Because somebody's going to fill that void.
Exactly. Excellent point. That Crocker said we're the hard drive. The United States is the hard drive, and without the hard drive, the United States, they can't operate. In other words, that keeps relative order between the Sunnis, the Shiite-led government, and the Kurds. But without us there, Iran has moved into that void, has filled that void in a significant way, when there are problems in Iraq, the president of Iraq, Maliki, looks to Iran for help, not the United States. So we have a very significant problem, and also the fact that we receive 400,000 barrels from Iraq every day for our economy. It's a substantial amount of oil. And at this point, the Saudis are going to make up the difference. But you look at Iraq, you look at what's taking place in Syria, you look at the problem with Hezbollah, you look at the issue with Hamas, and back to Iran again, their determination to be the caliphate in order to control land from Iran to Iraq to Syria to Jordan to Lebanon and eventually wipe out Israel is part of their plan. This is literally the most exciting time in biblical history. We are blessed to be living in the time that the prophets of the Old Testament, the Jewish prophets, explained of what the final days would be like, and we are living in those days.